Our third speaker is Jesse Good. Jesse Good grew up in Wyoming, where he met his wife of 13 years. Their life with 6 children, 5 of which are boys, makes things very exciting and fun and loud. Today we'll take a break from the chaos, and he will take a break from the chaos to share a story of when he attempted to plan the perfect date. Title: If at first you don't succeed, skydiving is not for you. This is speech 3 from the storytelling manual. The objective is the moral of the story. The time is 4 to 6 minutes. Everybody welcome Jesse Good.
Oh my goodness. How could I have done this? I am so stupid sometimes, and this is the worst possible moment that this could happen. Now let's rewind. Let's see what got us to this moment. Just a couple of months earlier, I had met my beautiful wife. We began dating. There was a great attraction there between us, and our relationship had progressed to the point that we began talking about marriage. Now, I was fully committed. I was all in on this. So what do you do when you're committed? You buy a ring, right? So I went and bought a ring. I'll admit I was kind of a wimp about it. I took her ring shopping first to find out what she would like, which is good because admittedly I would not have chosen the one that she chose. So now she has a ring that she loves, and I'm still a hero. I had decided though that I couldn't just say, hey, want to get married? I really had to do something spectacular, something amazing. So I planned for us a very special date. I said, on Wednesday, I'll pick you up at 8 o'clock. And I did. I was there in my 87 Ford Escort. It's a red little car, only 2 doors on the sides and a hatchback that I'd driven since high school. We went for a drive. I took her outside of town. About 10 miles out, there's a lake. It's called Buffalo Bill Reservoir. Some people may have heard of that. Being from Wyoming, there are a lot of Buffalo Bill things there. And there's lots of areas where you can pull off to overlook the lake. Now, I want to be clear, these aren't like lovers' lookouts. You don't do inappropriate things there. It's just for looking at the lake and enjoying the scenery. So that's what I had planned that we would do. We drove up, we parked facing the lake. You can see the sun setting on the horizon. It was a nice spring day. Hey, why don't we get out? We'll go sit on the hood of the car and watch the sunset. As I got out of the driver's side of the car, by force of habit, I locked my door. When I shut it, we sat and watched the sunset. Then I decided the time was right. Time to pop the question. So I said, you wait here. I have something for you. I opened up the passenger side door, reached in the glove box. What do you think was in there? No. There's actually a button to open up the hatchback of my car where I had something stashed. Push the button, out of habit, locked the door, shut it, got into the hatchback of my car, pulled out some flowers for my beautiful girlfriend at the time. And we started talking, and I told her of my feelings for her and how I wanted to be with her forever. Now, she didn't notice it soon enough, so I had to point it out. I said, what is that right there? And to the stem of one of the flowers, I had tied her engagement ring. So we untied it, I put it on her finger, I asked her to marry me, and she did a very nice thing. She said yes. That was where the fun began. We sat there a few more minutes, enjoying the sunset, and then we said, well, it's time to go. We have a dinner reservation. So being the gentleman that I am, I went over to open up my wife's door, and it was locked. That's okay, I'll just go in through my door. That's all right, I just have the keys. Hang on one second, as I walked back over to the other side of the car, hanging in the ignition were my car keys. Oh, I'm so stupid. How could I have done this? I'm such an idiot sometimes. This is the worst possible time that this could happen. So I was a little stressed out at this moment. My wife was very calm, girlfriend at the time. She said, well, let's just go to the street, to the road, and see if we can get a ride. So we agreed on that we would walk over to the highway. We figured we're only about 10 miles out. It would be kind of a long walk, but at least we're going through it together. As we approached the highway, we saw a car drive by, and another car, and another car. So I felt pretty confident that we would be able to get a ride. And when I got to the highway, no more cars. So we waited. I think we're going to miss our dinner reservation. But then in the distance, I saw a car, a black car, slowly approaching. He was slowing down. This is great. He's going to give us a ride. And as he got closer, I realized this wasn't just any black car. It was a limousine. I'm not kidding. Limousine pulled up. He jumped out and he said, hey, are you guys stuck? Do you need a hand? My last appointment just got canceled. If you guys need a ride, I'd be happy to take you into town. I said, yeah, that sounds fantastic, honey. This guy with the limousine just happened to be here to pick us up and take us into town. Isn't that great? So we rode into town. Now when you rent a limousine, or when a limousine picks you up by chance, I should say, in this case we had to pay by the hour, so we just rode around town for an hour till we went to dinner when we had our dinner reservation. After dinner we were leaving, and my wife started to say, now how are we going to get home? Because in her mind, we had just, by chance, been picked up by a limousine. She thought my car was still out at the lake. But just as she had asked that question, she saw my little red Ford Escort parked right in front of us in the parking lot. Then she started to put the pieces together. Locking the keys in the car, the limousine. Obviously, there was a third person involved to go get my car. It was all part of the plan. So here's the moral of the story. Oftentimes when we make a plan, it doesn't always work out. And sometimes it does. But when our plans don't work out, we have to keep trying. We have to keep going until they do work. Because we have a whole alphabet. So if plan A doesn't work, there's 25 more letters to use. Thank you.